Hi, my pickles. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. Well, somebody was asking me about dairy on the keto food plan and what I thought, and I said I'd do some research, and there are plenty of places to find lots and lots of opinions and comments about it. It might not necessarily be scientific. I think that dairy with keto under 20 is more of a personal choice. And it's funny because a lot of the websites that I got to are more concerned about, well, where's the calcium going to come from if I knock out dairy, versus, oh no, I love my heavy whipping cream, I love my slice of cheese, I love my cream cheese, and I'm not giving up those things because those things keep me sane with my keto food plan. So it's kind of the third rail. It's kind of like, well, is keto, one of those Lifetime movies of happily ever after with dairy, or is it like the honeymooners? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of the comments, besides what's going to take the place of calcium if I give it up, it's interesting. I mean, just look at what's in broccoli, look at what's in spinach. You will get plenty of calcium if you do give up dairy. I myself have not given up dairy, and I was listening to one doctor, and he said the deal with dairy is you want to keep it from cows that are pasture-raised, grass-fed, and organic. That's where the yucky stuff can come in, and all you have to do is flip over a cheese label and see the ingredients, and you will understand what I mean, or even cream. So I spend the big bucks, which means it's like $4 and a few cents for a pint of heavy whipping cream that's organic. I buy I was talking about that maple smoked cheddar cheese that's raw and unpasteurized, that has all the enzymes that haven't been tampered with when you buy pasteurized cheese, which means at high temperatures, the good buggies go bye-bye. So that's why I choose the raw. But some people have never had things like almond milk or cashew milk or coconut milk, and they miss their either whole milk or low fat or, God forbid, fat-free milk. I don't think we're talking about those people here, because most people learn early on that you need to give up milk with a keto food plan, that milk really, I think what we're talking about here is the heavy whipping cream and the variety of cheeses that a lot of us still have. I was reading how some people feel bloated after having cheese, and so they think it's the sodium. So as you can see, it's how the dairy products, where they came from, what they ate, is very important. And I know that some rather famous YouTube keto people have given up dairy, had a whoosh where they dropped a few pounds, and kind of have gotten used to it. And if they weren't into the non-cow milk milks before, now they are, and they have their almond, cashew, coconut milks, and they hadn't discovered them yet because they were still having other things. And right now I'm using heavy whipping cream and my cashew milk with just a touch of almond in it, and it seems to be the creamiest in my little bulletproof coffee latte that I have in the morning right here. But it's just a skosh of the cashew milk, just up to wherever the max line is for my NutriBullet cup. So yes, I have dairy, and yes, it's organic, and it's very important with meats and the dairy line that you want to know, you want to follow the chain back. What were the animals eating that you are now buying in a product such as heavy whipping cream or some sort of cheese, and sticking to the organic, because we have no control over this food industry that just it wants to keep us sick, because then there's a pharmaceutical industry that will manage our symptoms. You don't ever have to get well. You can keep all your symptoms forever, because that's how doctors are trained. Thank God for functional doctors. And all the doctors here that guide us through eating healthy with keto. And so the debate for dairy ends up, to me, thinking it's more of a personal decision and what it does to your body. Broccoli bloats me, so I wouldn't have it for lunch. And I learned that, the hard way, like a lot of us learn it, especially working in an office setting. And I know that bloat is always a big deal for a lot of us, and especially older women who think that bloat is just the way that it's going to end for them, just a big bloated old belly. And, somebody asked me why I gave up Weight Watchers. Well, that was part of it, the grains. Maybe I wasn't having dairy that came from a grass-fed, pasture-raised source. I don't know. I don't remember a lot of the things. All I know now is that I invest in what we eat here at home in grass-fed, pasture-raised eggs, dairy, cream, cheeses, and definitely meats, and uncured bacon and things like that. So it's not so much what you're eating, it's what the other item was eating, or organic vegetables that aren't sprayed from here to Vietnam with chemicals that aren't meant for human consumption, but Monsanto has dressed them up and tied them with a bow and somehow convinced government and farmers to use their products so they can get more yield. So don't get me started on this. So with dairy, I continue to have it. It is not large doses. Today, the only dairy I'm having is heavy whipping cream in my bulletproof coffee. There is no cheese in my dinner. Tonight is my easy crack slaw with my roasted asparagus. And there's no dairy there. And I haven't decided if I'm having my second meal or not yet. I don't think I need it, but you never know. And so yesterday was a 2-meal day. And so I do like to go a long time between my meals. And to go 24 hours from dinner to dinner, I love that feeling. But sometimes I get kind of jonesy and antsy. So if I can fill my day with things like a walk or errands, or cleaning out my clothes closet for Salvation Army, I need to keep busy because my addict is right on me all the time. I mean, when somebody says they're simply not hungry, I can't connect with that no matter what. If there was a pill that would make me connect with how they aren't hungry, I'd probably have already taken it, right? I fight my little Ms. Slick all day long. And I know it's habit and culture and all the other reasons. So when my stomach growls and empties, and usually it's around 7:30 in the morning, then I know that it's true hunger. But without that emptying, growling feeling where, if you put your phone to it, it would be, background music of then I know that I'm not really physically hungry. I know that I'm just mentally hungry, and that's just my addict being a nuisance. So with dairy, I buy organic and pasture-raised, grass-fed, meaning cream and cheeses and eggs and also animal protein. And so I look at the source, I look at the trail, what they were fed. And, it's hard. It's like when I was in real estate and a paralegal, you do the chain, the deed search, and you go back and see who owned it, what happened, the liens, and all the so forth. And you can only go back so far. So I just trust that the organic farmers have more than their pocketbook interests at hand. And so do an experiment. If you eat a certain type of cheese and it leaves you bloated, well then you know that cheese might not be the go-to. If you eat another type of cheese or heavy whipping cream, something like that, and it doesn't make you bloated, then you know that cheese isn't affecting you. If you're lactose intolerant, it doesn't take much to let you know. And so I think it's more of a personal decision because I tried to find a lot of the scientific data, and I think this is the third rail of perhaps keto, true keto, paleo, all the agreements, disagreements that go on and on and on. Find what works for you. And if you are still having dairy that's organic in limited amounts and the scale is moving, I say stick with it. Enjoy it. I know for me that cream cheese is one of my little saviors when it comes to things that hold me over, more so than cheddar cheeses or Swiss cheeses or Munster, any of those. For me, cream cheese is like my little secret in my omelets, and it carries me. That's all I know, and I'm going to go with it. And so I buy Organic Valley, organic cream cheese, or Neuchâtel, which is less fat, so I eat more. But yeah, I mean that's what works for me. So find what works for you. I don't know about yogurts. As many of you know, I buy the yogurt and then I don't eat it and then I throw it out. It's like a little tradition. It's like the old me forgets the new me and I don't eat it. So whatever works for you, if you've tried, some people keep a food journal on what affects them after they've eaten it. So if on Monday you have yogurt, you have something like half and half, or any type of thing that isn't like full fat, and then you track it and you find out the next day, well, you're constipated, well, you're bloated, well, then you know how your body reacts and responds to what you ate the day before by keeping a food journal and going, oh, I guess I don't need low-fat yogurt in my keto plan. No, you don't. Or half and half doesn't work, or even light cream doesn't work, or getting a skinny latte at like Starbucks or something like that where it's made with fat-free milk. No, your body's not responding to that. That type of dairy would probably leave me bloated and constipated too. Full fat, or don't touch it, And if you need your liquids in something, say that you're making it at home, like me, I add the non-dairy milks up to that max line. So then I'm getting my full dose of whatever it is that I'm drinking that I like to last, like my morning bulletproof coffee, which is really more of a latte. So hope this makes some sense. You need to do your own investigation and research into how your body responds. Your body's going to tell you. Scientific research can go, see who they're funded by, talk about finding the chain, see who's funding that study. It's no different than the pharmaceutical world. You're going to find a study, and they can hide it. I mean, there was one on sugar that Coca-Cola sponsored, but you don't know it. Coca-Cola is paying for it. So just beware. Navigating the foods in America today is like a science project in itself, and you just don't know. Take the time. It's your body. It's the only one that's being issued to you. You can get into the later years of your life, like me, taking a handful of pills or injecting insulin or doing those sort of things, or you can find that food is medicine and medicine is food, and never have to touch that pharma world stuff again. Trust me, there's tons and tons of anecdotal and scientific proof on that. But this was about dairy, where I feel it's the third rail. You need to do your own research. And once you do, then make your educated decision based on how your body responds. If you're bloated and constipated, stay away from that. That's how you learn, right? What works for me might not work for you. Have a wonderful day. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.